Good morning, everyone. Happy April 1st. We are going to have some fun in the kitchen today, and it's not going to be fun that you're going to end up eating later on, but it is actually going to be something that you can play with when you're all done. Hopefully, you will help mom and dad and grandmom, grandpop, whoever wants to help you do this little assignment. Because there's going to be something hot involved and they're going to need to add that for you. But hopefully you can follow along and you'll be able to make your own Play-Doh later on, either today or this weekend. Now, what I am going to do is we are going to come around here. And oh, here we are. I have all of my ingredients laid out for us. Now, I have flour, I have salt, I have something called cream of tartar, and I've already measured out the flour and the cream of tartar. That helps to thicken things up. We're going to use oil, and we're going to use boiling water. Now that is the part of our project that you need to get an adult to help you with. The first thing that we want to do is I have measured out, we have, let's see, how am I going to do this? I have a half a cup. You're going to use 1.5 cups of flour. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put everything in my bowl. And I only had 1/2 cup. So I know I could have used 2/4 cups like I've done before in the past, but I thought it would be easier for you to see. Well, I didn't know it would take quite so long. All right, here I have about 1/2 cup of salt. Now I'm going to add that to the flour because we want to mix all of our dried ingredients. Here is cream of tartar. Now I've already measured it out, but I used 2 tablespoons. Now, tablespoons are the big ones. It holds the most in the measuring spoon set, but I need 2 tablespoons. Whoops. All right, now I've got all of my dried ingredients and I am stirring them up. Okay, now I am going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. Now all right. Now, I went on ahead and measured out my oil because I needed 2 hands, but I am going to pour this into my flour and salt mixture. All right, the only thing left that we need to add right now, excuse me, is going to be water. Now, I'm turning my boiling water back on here. It was hot a moment ago. A lot of times, many times your recipe will tell you to go ahead and add the food coloring in at the same time you add your water. But I want to use more than one color. So I am going to add my boiling water, and then after I get it all mixed up, I'm going to add green. I'm going to split it up into 2 parts. Add some green food coloring to one part and some yellow food coloring to another part. So let us see. Oh, it's beginning to boil. So what I'm going to do, I am going to add my boiling water to my cup. It's very, very hot, so this is the part the adult needs to do. Okay, whoop, I've spilt a little bit. Ow. See, it's very, very hot. I made my cup too full. There we are. Now I'm pouring it in. Alrighty, I added my boiling water and poured it in, and I have mixed it up. This is what the adult would do also. Mix it up just a little bit to get everything all mixed up in there. Now, I am going to take my hands, and it's not it's warm, but you're not going to burn yourself at this point. So what we're going to do is I am going to mix it up, and then we're going to split it into two little groups, and we are going to add our food coloring. Alrighty, I have divided my dough into two bowls, and I went on ahead and added a little bit of yellow over here. And if you can see, I made kind of like a little, we call a little well, a little hole in the middle. And I am going to put some drops of green food coloring in. I'm going to do about 5 drops and then mix it up and see how that is. Just like I did over here, I added some yellow. You can always go back and add more, but if you see, I'm just taking, and this is better to use 2 hands, but I am just taking it and squeezing it and squishing it all together so that you can get a nice, colorful dough that you would like to play with. Okay, now I mixed up my yellow as I showed you, and here is my green. Now, I added more than the 5 drops because I wanted it to be darker. Probably could still be darker, but when you need it, I take it and I put it on my counter. And if you see me, I take it and I squish my hands across the Play-Doh and the counter and put it back in a ball and squish them together. And this helps. Take it, fold it again, squish it away from you. Fold it again, squish it away from you. And that helps to distribute, to mix up the food coloring all throughout the Play-Doh. And also get your little fingers in there and squeeze it. Now, when you add the food coloring in with the hot water, it mixes up much easier. But I didn't really want that much Play-Doh. This is why I added my food coloring later on. So now I have green and I have yellow food coloring. I'll let it cool. And you can wrap it up in like a paper towel just so it doesn't get hard on the outside. I'll do that right here just to help let it cool, not squish it, but just kind of to keep the air away from it. And then when it's done, you can put it in a Ziploc bag and you will have whatever color of Play-Doh that you would like, and it will last for a long, long time. Here we have our Play-Doh made, and I've put it into Ziploc bags to keep it from drying out. But I also took some from each of my colors, and I made some balls of Play-Doh that we're going to use to see what kind of designs we can make in them, or prints. Now, I walked around in my yard, and since we've been talking about flowers and other plants, I went around and I picked some things that looked like spring off of the trees outside. And I got one dandelion from the ground. Now, I picked up a rolling pin. You all might have something like this in your cabinets. We have smaller ones at Small World. But you know what? It doesn't fit. Like I can press it down and roll it. But you're going to find that it won't flatten it out very much because my plate is indented here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my hands. We do this a lot at school. Just take my hand and press out the Play-Doh. Try to make it smooth. Then I'm going to choose one of my flowers. Let's see. Oh, this one looks interesting. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to very carefully press it into my Play-Doh. Not too hard. You don't want to tear the flower apart. Okay. Now I'm going to lift it up, hopefully. Let's see. I haven't tried this yet. Look. I made, turn it around, a little flower print. Now, what would happen if I got a leaf? I'm going to take this. I'm going to, you might have to experiment. One side might be better than the other. popped up, I can see the veins from inside my leaf. Now, you know what? We did it on that side. Let's turn it over and see if there's any difference. I think the bottom side will be better, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Press it. Pull it up. No, actually, they both turned out very pretty. Now, I'm going to flatten my yellow out. Make it sort of smooth. Let me see. I found I don't know if we're going to be able to get all of these in here, but let's see what happens. I'm going to take it. I'm going to press it in just enough to where you make an indentation in there. Then I'm going to carefully pull up. Oh! Well, you know what? That's actually very pretty. You can see that I made the flower. Let's see, I'll do a little leaf. This is a very tender, a very tender leaf. It's a very young leaf, so it doesn't have a lot of veining in it. But you can see very carefully the little leaf in there. So why don't you go out in your yard and see what you can find and what types of prints you can make with some flowers and leaves and twigs maybe out there, little small sticks, and send me some pictures possibly of some of the designs and the colors of Play-Doh that you make. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.